Hello and welcome back to the Finals Master Series by Breakout Esports. My name is Artie and I'm joined here by Rio.
Hello.
How's it going, Rio? How you doing today?
It's going great. I'm doing just well. I'm really excited to see what these matches bring us today, and hopefully it'll be quite like a repeat of last time.
Exactly. Same here. Hoping for a good little bit of battle this weekend. We are in qualifier number 3 this weekend, and previously we had Team Yappers win qualifier number 1, Team BKO winning qualifier number 2, and so now teams are pushing for another qual spot today, and things have been heating up since the game started yesterday.
Absolutely. First up, we're going to be having is it the Frog 3 versus the BURTS? So it'll be quite an interesting game to see, especially with the performance from Frog 3 last time. And yeah,
Yeah, so last weekend, or during qualifier number 2, we did get to see a few of these teams competing. Frog3 and LRC being two of the teams that made it onto our broadcast during the last weekend qualifier number 2. That being said, we're seeing Frog3 in another sticky situation. They're starting off this time in the lower bracket, which means one elimination, and they are as good as gone. Following that as well, Team LRC, they are going to be up for a fight up against Team Scallywags, which is comprised of a few of the most absolute dominant players in the finals scene. So this is already going to be a fantastic start to our upper bracket run for whoever's going to be able to make it to the grand finals. And following this, we also will go through the runnings in the lower bracket because Frog 3, BURTS, Divine Dead, no idea. Whoever wins their first match, they still got 3 more to win before those grand finals. And we're going to be taking a look here at the map pick and ban rates.
yeah. Personally, I really like the new Cis Horizon map. I don't see it getting banned a lot. It's definitely a map that's played, but it'll be really interesting because there's kind of a nice spread across all the maps.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting to see. For example, Skyway Stadium is the most picked map, whereas Cis Horizon is just behind it. One team making the difference there, and then looking out to see that Seoul is the most banned. It's given the fact that Seoul is so highly trained on, it makes sense that people are just sick of playing the map. But at the same time, there are some tricky situations. Even if you practice and practice and practice on Seoul, if you just get one bad spawn, it could be detrimental.
Absolutely. And not in addition to that, the Soul also has a lot of verticality that the other maps just don't have, and I think that makes it so much harder. Having to look up and look all around in places that you don't just expect. So that makes sense that it's banned and kind of more competitive.
Absolutely. But for today's matches, I think that we can kind of expect teams to be pulling out pretty much the same strat no matter what map it is. We talked a little bit last time about, hey, maybe teams will change it up depending on what map they're on now. But for now, things are at least just going to be pretty standard. Teams just pressing that W key. You look at the split one leaders here as BKO and Yappers. They've already qualled. We also see Frog3 and LRC currently holding some of the top spots, but again, they're gonna have to win a qualifier to be guaranteed.
Yep, should be a good match.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a fun matchup. I do actually not know, however, if we're starting with lower bracket or if we are going to be starting off with that very, very exciting and intense Scallywags game that's going on in the upper bracket today. We are on lower bracket first, so it's going to be Frog 3 versus BURTS. And as far as Team BURTS goes, they have some intense competitors as well. It's formerly known as Team Swaco, as we've seen them pop up through scrims. Swaco, Chickpea, and Kuno Z. They are a team that is comprised of some of the most insane light players in the finals.
Yeah, and you really don't see that played out a lot. And normally it's heavy, heavy, medium, or some other mix of that. Thankfully, we banned the heavy, heavy mix in this, which is quite advantageous. So, yeah, I would love to see some really good light players today.
Absolutely. The thing about the light players versus just going in with just straight up triple medium. is the fact that light, you have to be a skirmisher. You have to be taking fights from the side. You can't just run head on like a medium or a heavy. The
Hmm.
reason that we get a lot of people that are playing light is just because it is so viable. You create so many openings for your team just by being in a slightly different position. Having the invisibility for a quick out, having the
Hmm.
glitch grenades to open up for your team. There's so many possibilities as long as you can stay alive and not get shot. Especially given the fact that in the Finals Master Series, we are banning double heavy. That would be the dominant meta if we weren't doing something about it ourselves. So that's kind of how this bracket works.
Yep. And really, anytime that I encounter Devil Heavy, it's just annoying. And I think that when you get lights in the mix, it just showcases the skill so much more because you are so weak and you can really just get taken down by heavies immediately. So it'll be, yeah, a true show of skill.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see the matches get started up. We're just waiting for final confirmation. There has been a lobby bug for the custom game matches in the finals ever since they dropped. So just stay tuned, folks, while we get some of these minor issues sorted out. Might be a little bit difficult to have a match without everybody playing in it. So
Yep. And hopefully, as the finals continues, we'll see more and more developed on the custom game side because it's really kind of quite lacking. But we're still really happy that we have something compared to nothing what we had when we started. So,
yeah, exactly. I'm super super thankful that we even have them to begin with.
mm,
While we sort out some of these technical issues, we will come right back to you right after this break. Alrighty, everybody, we are back and the games have started. Looks like we were able to get through in the end. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. Chickpea running on the light. Love to see it. Sueco on heavy and Z on the healer medium.
absolutely, getting some nades thrown in there, doing some chip damage. They're on the crane, which is a great spot to be.
Yeah, fighting over Vault 1 right now. We're going to be watching as Frog3 sticks together, and teamwork is the name of the game. But that's what Chickpea's goal is here, is to sort of get in between. Now, we are watching as Sueco and Z hug each other up, as you should, with a heavy and a medium with that heal beam. Got to have that perfect level of sustain for the or for your heavy player. But Frog3, we haven't gotten a good look at them just yet, but it looks like they're still unable to take some space, even after they got an opening by taking out Z in the beginning.
Yep. And it looks like the first vault is going to be open, and we're going to see who takes it.
Currently, it is Team BURTS that's in control of that vault, but they're not going to put it anywhere just yet. They're going to wait to see Frog3, because Frog3, they're on top of that crane, like we said in the very beginning, and swapping places with Chickpea. And now that they're on the crane in the control spot, they are able to at least have a little bit of crowd control, figure out where Sueco and Z are going to make their approach from if they try to just run away with the vault without dealing with them first. That being said, it also puts them at a stalemate position as well, since, well, they don't have the vault. You see Chickpea using that light, small form factor to actually get in there and slip away, and they want it to go into cash out B, the easiest to defend on that side of the hospital.
Yep, throws up a portal so he can hop up there. And I bet he can take the zip line. His whole team is on it. And they throw the cash box.
Yep, gonna just make it right
near
through, right near. Luckily, they did not get the roof spawn here. I think the roof spawn would be the hardest to deal with in this situation, especially just given the fact there's not a lot of places your light can go. But now they are going to be able to get this set in. But Frog3 pushing up through the staircase. BURTS has to clear him out. One is going down right off the rip here, but where did the other two run off to? Remember that Frog3 doesn't tend to run a medium or a light, which means that they should have an extra pair of defibs on hand to pick that player up. So BURTS would be better for them to just go ahead and get that team wipe. Although I think that Frog3 is just going to play the coin here.
Yep. Well, the cash out has started, so the timer is going, and now we just get to watch and see. And get some chip damage on them. They throw the APS turret down, which is great, and they take it down immediately.
Yeah, no real reason to put that APS in that position, given the fact that it is immediately going to get shot down, and also no one would throw grenades at that front door. Here we are, a much better area for them if they needed that APS, but see Chickpea getting that sideline skirmish, doing just enough damage for his team to finish him off. The frag grenades and glitch grenade combination will make it even harder, and look at that, Sueco and Z cleaning it up while Chickpea just opens with those grenades.
Yep, first team wipe of the match. Not bad, really quick.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I love about Chickpea is that Chickpea is very familiar with what he needs to do in order to create openings for his team. He's one of the most, I want to say, selfless players. Because he plays for his own kills. He will prioritize not getting the kill so that his teammate can finish it off and do more damage to the other members of the enemies.
We're really seeing some good plays from the nades already. We see that the other team spawned, and just look at that, and he already chipped away a lot and used 4 nades, used the grenades and the glitch grenades. So it's quite interesting to see somebody just constantly lobbing them out there.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the frags is that you're able to open up and take space that you wouldn't otherwise be able to take as a light being so squishy. Glitch grenade gonna come in, gonna remove all of the shields here, and so once Sueco and Z drop in, there's not gonna be much Frog3 can do here. Looks like the entire team is gonna get wiped out here, but instead it's BURTS that goes out. Wow. But is there time to steal the cash out?
I don't think so.
I don't think that the cash out was stolen.
Nope.
And there we go. It is actually going to be Sueco still in control. Look at that. The jet setters of BURTS able to maintain their lead.
It's a great start, honestly. We're starting to move towards Vault 2. No team really looks like they're close to it, so it'll be interesting to see if they all converge on it at the same time. And I do think somebody just started opening it.
Can you go to the gateway?
I believe it's BURTS. Or is that Frog3?
Can you drop on the gateway? It's pinged.
On it. Oh, what? I have no mesh, no mesh. I have to chill.
Frog3 stuck up on the top. Chickpea's red barrel not gonna quite go where he needed it to drop them down, but probably better out this way, given the fact that now Frog3 is a little bit scrambled trying to find where Chickpea ran off to. Chickpea ends up going down though before he can do much about it. Although it's not going to matter too much. Vault 2 still quite a ways away from Cash Out C, which it appears to be where Frog3 wants to go to. So Z and Sueco will have a good chance to reset, make some space before Chickpea coins back in.
The split.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
And there he comes. He comes back in.
Care if they
And
blow
we start
this.
to see the whole team push together.
Oh,
And I think they all just fell.
oh
Wow.
no way.
It was
I-
a great shot on the zip line.
That is actually insane. The zip line shot that takes them both out. I haven't seen that in scrims or in a tournament in a while, but it has happened before. If I had a nickel for every time this has happened in a cash prize tournament, I would have 2 nickels, which is way more nickels than it should be given the situation.
Absolutely. That's really the risk of the zip line versus the jump pad. It just can be taken down if you're going over an empty space.
We know where inside I can put a hole.
No. I'm gonna look down here for a sec.
What's interesting is they're really keeping their distance and waiting for the whole team to
under
get there
here.
until they start attacking the cash bot or the vault by themselves.
Exactly. Because Chickpea can't
APS.
really do much on his own other than open up space and maybe do a little bit of
APSs.
early damage.
If we make him
But
feel that can
when Sueco is able to get in there and find his opening, followed in with Z on the heels, that is when they can start to actually claim the cash out. Glitch Grenade gonna go
On the
in.
left alone,
Unfortunately,
left alone.
doesn't
Half.
land
Push,
before
push,
some of that
push,
util
push,
comes
left
out from Frog3. But now you see the Chickpea does enough opening damage for the team to come in. It is immediately traded out though. BURTS and Frog3 both losing players, but
Good
it
elbow
is
kill.
gonna be Chickpea still up in a 1v1, no HP.
What?
He's got a dream. Unfortunately, the Glitch Grenade
How
did
did
not
wait,
take
hello?
out the dome.
Domes don't
How
break
did
in
that
glitch.
not take out the dome?
I have no idea. It landed right on it.
Oh my god, man. Like, what is this, bro?
Looks like this cash out is secured. They're not going to respawn in time. Even jump on that.
That is insane.
Did they
That
get
heavy
glitch
was
in it?
so low. The glitch grenade glitched, and that actually lost that lost BURTS the cash out.
Glitch through what?
You get good
It's okay. I'd rather have a closer game. Now we get to see the next cash out. Really, winner takes all.
Absolutely. They still have some time. They still have the ability to make this work out for them on number 3.
One medium one.
Glitched.
There's those nades again. He's really great at just lobbing them perfectly.
Oh, there we go.
Overcash.
Immediately
Nice.
gonna have the upper hand when it comes to the vault fight. 2 players down on Frog3.
classic.
Take that Frog1, if I may. Vault gets open, but Frog3 might have enough time to come in and cut him off before things get started. But
I have a
that's
portal
why
on it. We
you
can
got
go under.
Chickpea here with the portal.
Cross.
Let's see where that portal is going to go. It should allow them a free cross into A. That is well within their ability here. So Sueco or Z, one of them is going to grab the cash out, go straight through the portal, and they'll have a beeline right into cash out A.
Where are they
Question is Frog3 waiting for them?
Padding or pad?
You really hope so, but it's such a close spawn from where the vault is that they're
I'm above them.
getting right on it and going to get it started right now.
They're trying to pad up. They're trying to pad
You
up.
see the whole Frog3 is here, and
Pad it up. Pad it
interestingly
up.
enough, the light is running away, kind of hiding.
Nades
Oh,
They'll
yeah,
be
well,
high ground.
If you have 2 people looking at you as a light, that's basically a death sentence. They have
Absolutely.
to. Chickpea has to wait for Sueco and Z to be in a good spot. But we see that it is Frog3 currently in control of the cash out. Not
Great
too
PS
much of an
though.
issue here. It does allow them to zone a little bit better. Z will come through for the heals on Chickpea, and now they're waiting for the time to strike. They've isolated one medium player on the side, but it does look
Gateway?
like he is
Maybe that's
actually
one.
doubled
You wanna
up
go
with
bubble
the
it
other.
or not?
Second gateway about to go through. They're going to drop right on Frog3's heads. You can see the heavy
Just drop.
making ways down.
We gotta knock this down.
DPS turret down, heavy shield is down, dump shield is down, and now they're just holding it.
Yeah, looks like there is one more
Let's go,
APS
send,
up
send.
where Frog3 is holding, but Frog3 seems to have crossed back
I hit
over.
my head, I hit my head.
Chickpea, Sueco, and Z, they have to send it now. Chickpea going to be falling behind here as he doesn't quite hit the jump pad
Heavy,
where
heavy,
it needs to
heavy,
go.
heavy,
Glitch
heavy,
grenade
heavy, heavy.
not landing where it needs to. The heavy taking
I'm
tons
stuck,
of
bro,
damage.
man. I got
We will
robbed
see
this.
Sueco going down first.
Push, push.
Z on 1 HP. This is not looking good. All 3 members of Frog3 are still up, and it's just Chickpea. Worse things have happened, though. Let's see. Unfortunately, Chickpea not able to follow through, and this might be it for map 1. But we'll see. There could be enough time on that cash out station for them to come in with a full send and steal, but it is unlikely, Rio.
Yep, they have to dive on there immediately, and I just don't see it happening unless they spawned right next to it, and it does not look like it. They spawned over 100 meters away in this case. So even if they
Yeah, I mean, I
they
don't
get
know
over
if
there,
they're
they
actually
throw their
doing
zip lines down,
great
they're just
shots
not going to
or
make it with enough time to hold down for the 10 seconds it takes to take the vault.
I think we have to force cash.
And
That's
there
going
we
to be
go.
the end of it here. Frog3 takes map
They have
1
cash.
on Soul. Super, super unfortunate for BURTS, given the fact that that second cash out, it was a glitch grenade that ended up costing the entire game there. But no worries, because they still have another chance. Remember, it is a best of 3 situation, not only for the cash outs, but for the maps as well.
Absolutely. And it was really some great gameplay just from both teams involved. Really great to see when we get both teams get a cash out, and just waiting to see who the third and final winners are of the match. Did you have any favorite moments that you saw, Artie?
From that match, I mean, we could just already sort of see the cohesion that Frog3 has actually acquired since last time. They were a lot more. The very first time we saw them on broadcast, we saw that they were doing a lot of interesting strats, maybe to try and cut off the competition a little bit and take them by surprise. They're putting a lot of thought into it, but at the very beginning, those strats weren't working out because it just wasn't in what works, right? Whatever their strategies were that they were pulling out weren't good enough to stay on top. Now, though, that was then. Now,
Yep.
Frog3 is learning quite quickly how to deal with the current meta, the current play styles of how people are holding the cash out, how people are holding the vaults. And as you can see now, Frog3 is putting themselves in a very good running to possibly take it all today. So the question is really just going to be, can they keep it up in map 2?
Yep, absolutely. And if I remember correctly, Frog 3 was the one that would immediately start the cash out and then run away. And that was always such a surprise that they would try and ambush the team as they came in. And really just kind of not the best strategy, but it seems like they're not employing that anymore. So they have definitely changed their strategies, gotten things going, and it'll be quite exciting to see what they do in the next match.
Yeah, I think that there are a few things that Frog3 still needs to work on, but hey, if they are able to do it, then it will work out perfectly. That being said, map 2 is going to come right after this break.
Sounds good.
Everything is twofold. What's joy is pain on the other hand. And what happens when the one that you love is the main cause of your suffering? Everything is twofold. What's joy is pain on the other hand. And what happens when the one that you love is the main cause of your suffering? Everything is twofold. What's joy is pain on the other hand. And what happens when the one that you love is the main cause of your suffering?
All right, we are back. The lobby still waiting to start up. It looks like they have everybody in, but they oh, it's the lobby, it's the party glitch. Again, happens. What's really weird about the way that the lobby system works is that you have to get everyone in a specific order, and it's just so difficult to coordinate that sometimes. But you know, hopefully one day, you know, if only we had the technology, Rio.
Yep. But like I said, thankfully, you know, when this started, we had like what 2-3 months with nothing, and you really just hope to, yeah, if you wanted to play with friends or do a private match, it just was impossible. So the idea of us doing even tournaments is awesome that we're here. But yeah, we really hope that in the future they improve this by a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember, you know, it was a long, long time ago, back in the glory days of 2008, when, you know, Halo 3 had working custom lobbies. But, you know, maybe that's
Yep.
an ancient technology, long and forgotten.
Well, I do like that they moved it just recently, where 2 people can start a private match, which is great because I there's a lot in the map that I kind of want to hop around and just explore on my own, because they are quite detailed, and every time I'm just flying around when I'm dead, it's quite impressive to see everything. And I like to think that there are still probably some Easter eggs and some things hidden in the maps that we haven't seen. So I think that yeah, I'll need to check out the the private match with just a friend here soon.
Yeah, and so speaking about that last
Wait, that's the dumbest.
that last match when we had the glitch grenade coming through and not breaking the bubble, it is actually a bug this patch where glitch grenades do not burst bubbles as they should. Now remember, this isn't an update that happened with patch notes. This is actually something that just randomly happened this last patch that has not been fixed. So
Wow, that's so unfortunate.
super unfortunate that that has to happen. You know, it is just so difficult to sort of maintain up with, you know, all the changes, all the updates that are happening to different weapons and different attach like different loadouts, interactions between everything. Now you have to worry about bugs and glitches too.
Yep.
We see actually this at Chickpeas swapped off of the light because of it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If it's going to impact your gameplay, let's go with something that works.
This is pretty insane to see now that we're watching Chickpea back on the medium. All right, it's gonna be 2 teams of the double heals and the single heavy. Unfortunately for BURTS, though, Frog3 just has a slightly better position. Sueko is gonna be able to pick up 1 though, but looks like Frog3 might be in a good spot for now as they keep trades coming through. But 1v1 Kynes is not going to be in a good spot compared to Z, and that's going to be BURTS winning the first team fight.
Nice. And I really like how they were all huddled behind that barricade. They're just so big now, and it's a really defensive strategy to throw them up. And as we wait for them to respawn, here they come. Seems like Burt is going to get the cash box started, or the vault opened, and I bet you that they take it to A. But we'll just have to see.
Frog3 gonna have to try and get closer to cash out A, but here's the best part about this map here is once you know the spawns, you know exactly what direction Frog3 is gonna be coming from if they're gonna try to go fast in. So we'll see Chickpea, Sueko, and Z setting up to be right in between them. Frog3 gonna be just jumping right in the jump pad and the staircase, trying to take a little bit of a side angle. And look at that, they start off strong by taking out Chickpea to begin with.
A lot of close combat happening too. Last match we were seeing a lot of a little bit further away, but they are just hopping right in there. I think that's the difference between the light and the medium that we're seeing.
100%, but also look at the sustain here. Frog3 still able to keep everybody up and up, but look at this. Chickpea, Z, and Sueko keep knocking them back down. Another team fight, and I think every single member of Frog3 was revived at one point there. Pretty insane.
J'aurais pas dû rusher, ouais. Moi je vais beaucoup plus chill étant donné qu'on est sur serveur NA.
We're already halfway through this first cash out, so they're gonna have to dive on it and really get something going.
Can't get reached by Mega from here.
I do like the use of the APS turrets because it kind of just shuts down all the nades, and it gives them a place to huddle on and hold out while the enemy keeps on them.
Yeah, Frog3 is struggling to find an entry here, and BURTS seems to have fully figured out exactly what Frog3 was pulling from that last match until now. You see Frog3 playing with the barricades and the domes. BURTS does not like to hunker down and stay in one spot. So this is actually going to be a very big difference in playstyle, and forcing Frog3 to come out of that bunker, out of that safety, is going to separate them in a way that will make it a little bit harder for them to keep their cohesion. But they're going to try to force a steal here. They are able to at least take out Chickpea, but the steal will not come through as we're watching Sueco and Z deal too much damage. But what is this? Frog3 almost comes through. It's going to be a singular win right there for BURTS. Frog3 gets wiped at the very end. Sueco doing everything to stay up. The sustain on the team is wild.
Absolutely. And I really am liking these close engagements. That makes it more exciting, and you can just see more people just diving in and really getting the shots off that they need.
100%, especially just given the fact that this is the entrance that BURTS needed to remain competitive, right? I feel like if they lost that first cash out due to just one major push by Frog3 actually working out, they could chalk their mental just a little bit. But now they're back on a strong foot here. They know that they could get knocked out if they don't win this map. It's going to be it's going to be a good standing for them to at least be in the lead and in control of the vault going into this next cash out fight. Chickpea goes down, the call's made, don't cash it. They're going to try to buy time while Chickpea coins back in.
Ça l'a lâché, super. Ils sont au-dessus de moi, à gauche de moi dessus.
On monte là, on fait quoi?
Ouais, il faut monter, faut monter. Ils vont être à gauche de nous dès qu'on monte là.
Yep, looks like they're going to go to cash out C. Get this started.
This could be pretty bad if Frog3 is able to deposit, but looks like they're not. Sueco is standing in harm's way, and Chickpea is able to finish him off there. They're going to be seeing Sueco get traded out here. Look at that. That's a heal beam, not a gun. When the enemy is pushing, you should have the other one out. Frog3 going to be getting eliminated just a little bit here, but Z gets traded out as well. We keep seeing it go down to just 1v1, but it's Sueco and Chickpea. They are able to get a res. One more member, and that's going to be the wipe. Absolutely incredible start here for Team BURTS as Frog3 is unable to deal with the situation at hand. Cash out number C is about to get started here. Let's see if BURTS can keep the streak on.
I think they're going to hold the cash out until the enemy team respawns, just to make sure that they spawn further away. And I think that's exactly what they just did. Now they're getting set up, going up the ladder. I like this strategy where you kind of set up the cash cash out station with something, a gas or a molly or a red barrel. So just you have something to shoot when they come into it. Gives you that extra little bit of distance. I quite like the gas because unless you have a smoke, it's just hard to push onto that without taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, and no, there is no member of Frog3 that's running fire, so if that gas pops, they are going to have to get a little bit of a fire barrel to throw in there. See Chickpea going to buy some time, but remember, they could also just break the floor underneath. That's what happens here, breaking it 2 floors down. And again, this is what Frog3 does best. They find a place to hunker down, and they go in.
Oh, and they got it.
Steal is going to come through. This is super, super unfortunate as Chickpea makes his way down, putting himself in harm's way. The question is, are they able to get the steal before Frog3 gets set back up? Dome is out, the shield as well, the body block. They are able to re-steal it. Absolutely insane, but no member of either team has gone down yet. This is very, very intense as Frog3 tries to find an entry. Z, half HP, now 1/4. Will he be able to survive? He comes back up. The heals are going to come through. They're going to try and deal as much damage as possible. One member of Frog3 goes down before getting res. Half HP, and that's going to be a wipe. No time left. That's BURTS on map 2, Sis Horizon.
Perfect. It was really quite a change from the last map that we saw. I wonder if it all kind of revolves around the heavy light switch, or the medium light switch.
Yeah, absolutely. The entirety of the situation just relying on the fact that BURTS needs to make sure that they don't give Frog3 enough time to set up and hunker down. They need to make sure they can get in there and break those ankles. And that's exactly why when that second cash out, Frog3 got the steal, BURTS was able to come back in and just steal it right back anyway, because Frog3 was in the middle of trying to get away to reset back up.
Yep. Really interesting to see that they didn't that Frog3 wasn't able to get a single cash out. They just didn't have the same play style that they did in the last map. So really interesting to see. And I guess we get to see one more match with them before the winner takes all.
Exactly. It's a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors situation where Frog3 needs to make sure they maintain control of the vault, and they're the first ones to get that cash out started. But even when that happened on the first cash out, they did not have the ability to follow through with that after they take too much time to get set up into those hunker down bunker positions. But without further ado, we are going to take a small break and come back into map 3 right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are jumping in yet again to map number 3. This time it is Frog3 and BURTS. Double medium, double medium.
You love to see it. Anytime match goes into 3 rounds, 3 matches, it's really exciting because now it can be anybody's game. And it'll really depend on which team kind of pulls out all the stops. And if there's a time to play hard, this is it.
Absolutely, especially given the fact that this is the time to show off. There's nothing left after this. You gotta get both cash outs for yourself here. If it goes to cash out number 3 on map number 3, that's how you know we had a good bracket because the right teams made it at the right time. You're gonna see Frog3 stacking up on this fight. They're trying to do this, proc damage, from one neighborhood to another. And I've never understood these fights. Nobody's gonna die here anyway. BURTS is just trying to at least make it over to the side. Frog3 stalling as much as possible. But look at this, overexposing, causing themselves to take a little bit of damage. Remember, if you have the most amount of damage dealt to you by the time the other team is ready to pad over, it is a huge disadvantage.
Yep. But thankfully they have the healing beam, which really kind of makes these fights, not that important. So
That's the thing.
Right back up.
Exactly. When you have a double healer set up on both teams, these fights are less important than just getting that early advance in underneath. Remember, maximum height does not matter all the time, so a lot of teams still have to grapple with that reality. That being said, though, Frog3 was able to deal at least enough damage to keep BURTS away, stop them from making their push at all, and now cash out is about to get started. Cash out B. The question is, will Sueco, Z, and Chickpea go from the bottom or go from the top?
It's really interesting. I see him running with the defib out. There's no speed boost in my opinion. I guess he's just prepared in case a teammate goes down, but I would really just have a gun out. Interesting strategy to see. Not something that I would play with, but...
Get started with Frog3. They are playing a little bit split here. The mediums are not playing directly on top of the heavy, and that's going to mean that the heavy goes out first. But remember, they've got defibs, and the paddles could come through here. But what is this? Frog3, it looks like Hines isn't even making a move to res his heavy. Basila most likely going to be using a coin to get back in. And the main question here is going to be, where is Sueco and Z going to come from? The steal happens. Sueco on the shields. That steal is going to come through. Basila is going to be back in the fight here, but Hines taking tons of damage. That is going to be
Faut y aller,
Z
genre, quand on dit pas y
getting
aller, on y va
first
pas.
frag onto F3 after they've all been rezzed.
Yeah, really interesting choice. I don't know why they didn't grab the little statue and just run away. I guess they made back because now they're in a really bad situation.
Mais
They
forcément, il a la faute sur toi, ils savent que tu es pas là,
They
donc c'est après, c'est
definitely
normal.
couldn't have because the heavy died up in the attic space, and that's where ChickPZ and Sueco had pushed into. But the real question is, why was he on his own there in the first place? Now we see that BURTS is in control of Cash Out B, and now they just have to wait for one more push from Frog3. But I think Cash Out 1 should be secured by our boys in BURTS.
Yep. No way that they could dive on this even after they respawn. Most respawns happen over 100 meters away, and that takes 10 seconds at least to get over there. Even with the zip lines and jump pads, and yeah, it's just not enough time to hold it and steal it.
And here's Frog3 trying to find their entry, but yeah, there's just not enough time, especially with that gas on there. They could heal through, but you need both healers on the gas now, and it's just not going to be a way that works out. That is going to be Cash Out going in for BURTS. A strong start. And last map, they were able to run away with it. First map, they weren't. Let's see what happens here as Frog3 gets ready to try to tackle this. I can't understand French, but I know they're strategizing right now in this free cam.
On se met dedans s'il vous plaît les gars. Allez. J'ai pas envie de rentrer chez moi là maintenant, j'ai envie d'attendre ici jusqu'à 2h, 3h du matin, donc c'est bon. Vous avez vu au-dessus
Ils
là-bas?
sont au-dessus, ouais, au-dessus du jaune. Là.
Yeah, it is really interesting how far away you'll spawn if the enemy team isn't near the vault, or they start opening it. It just really kind of gives a lot of space and a lot of time before either team kind of gets into an engagement, especially when it's just like this where it's one team on one team.
Ouais.
Pose un pad sur le côté si on doit le prendre.
Looks like they're going to pad over to the side here. Sueco, Z, and Chickpea are so in sync right now. You hear them counting down before they make their moves. Such good positioning. Trying to break that jump pad, but unfortunately they're not able to break the pad in time. But it doesn't matter. Frog3's not taking it anyway. Looks like they are going to push for Cash Out. Hey, Frog3's privy to this motion though. BURTS trying to at least cut him off. But it's going to be Frog3 that takes the pad first. Now they're set up. BURTS has a choice. They can either jump right on them, and that's what they're going to do. Sueco goes down immediately in a hail of gunfire, but it's traded out by one. Z is able to take one out, but it is going to be rezzed through. Frog3 still sustained all the way up. They lose Kynes. Sueco goes down once more. It's going to be a very difficult battle to get any in here. Looks like Frog3 is going to be able to stay up at least a little bit longer. Sueco coming through one more time. Battle of the reses. Sueco picks up two. It's just Kynes. And look at that. He's able to sustain with just
health.
8. Is it 11 HP? That's wild.
Yeah.
Goo
Honestly,
Barrel
these
coming
are the
in
fights that I
clutch
love,
there.
though.
No.
Very close, very exciting. Just a lot happening. Lots of reses. Yeah.
And this will buy BURTS just enough time to get set back up at the Cash Out, but they have no idea that there's a member of Frog3 waiting in the building underneath. Frog3 won't be able to reset in time before the Cash Out gets started, but they will be right here for a quick team fight. I'm anticipating the next 15 seconds.
Yep. And this is such a hard cash out too. It's on the top of the building, and it lets people come from below you to blow it up, or just gotta jump in. There's not a lot to hide behind, so it's really direct combat, or just kind of dropping the cash to the vault.
Exactly. That is going to be the move here from Frog, is dropping it. There it is, the RPG or the C4, whichever it was. He is going to come through, and check this out. Frog3 gets a huge opening onto Z, huge opening onto the Heavy as well. Massive damage being dealt. Both mediums are out, and Sueco is at low HP. This is going to be difficult for Frog3, or I'm sorry, for BURTS to come back, because Frog3 just takes control of the situation with a single piece of utility. That is going to be a team wipe. BURTS is going to have to come through. They will have time for one more team fight here. But again, the question is, how will they be able to approach it? Because remember, they're not playing with the light like they're used to. They've got double medium now.
Looks like they're trying to use the jump pad to throw the cash box or the vault back up. Maybe not. Maybe that was just a mistake. but it definitely went flying there
On
for a
voit pas
second.
d'ici. Hein.
They tried to bop it up to one or
gauche.
two floors higher would be
Pareil.
better for them to hold, but at least here they do have the ability to bake themselves into the site. But check this out. Once again, it's just going to be a drop. See if they got the C4 on it. The C4 going to come
There it
through.
goes.
Cash out being dropped. Now the question is, when will Frog3 make their drop?
That dome shield and the heavy shield really.
They
coming
fake
in.
the steal, are able
Wow.
to get the heavy down to 1 HP, but look at this insane damage. Frog3 gets a team wipe immediately, and this is going to bring us into cash out number 3. As cash out A goes to Frog3, it is 1-1, and it all comes down to this, Rio. On the very first match of the day, we are getting an exciting map 3 cash out 3.
Je pense.
Absolutely. Really couldn't ask for anything better. Both teams seem really both evenly matched, so this is quite a game to watch.
Après avec un pompe, l'ascenseur c'est jamais plus chiant.
Yeah, the way that these teams are fighting is just the perfect complement to each other, because the fact that
Et le 2, c'est un
you know,
point,
with
le
a super heavily defensive setup that Frog3 goes for,
Moi, je veux grue.
they have so much potential. But when Frog3 is not in that situation, they have to fight out with the super unpredictable gameplay of BURTS,
Ok.
and
Prends-toi,
it's just this rock paper
Faut le
scissors
regarder,
format,
même pas
really.
d'ici, venez.
Yeah,
Attends,
it's all going to come down to this
attends,
last
parce qu'on va
cash
voir
out.
s'il pad.
You
Ils
see
sont là,
both
ils sont
teams
là,
kind of
je les
setting
vois.
up. They have the vault. I wonder where they'll take it. They're kind of evenly spaced from both cash out stations.
Prends la zip à gauche.
Putain, merde, vas-y.
Ah putain.
Ah, prends le point. Prends le point.
They really have a long way to
Attention,
travel
attention.
to for both of
Ok,
them.
j'ai balancé le point. De toute façon, il faut jouer le fight maintenant.
Venez sur moi.
C'est sur toi
Je peux pas
Ouais,
monter.
And here it is, Frog3 trying to make their motions, and Burt doing what they can to get the stall out in time.
Let's look, let's look, let's look.
Gonna be some massive damage there as the pad goes through. Z, Chickpea, and Sueco, though, all sitting at around half HP. It looks like Chickpea is gonna go down. Z and Sueco now trying to hold up. Basila doing some massive damage with the RPG.
That RPG.
Sueco is able to pick up one, but not before we are gonna get another kill. And there's the wipe here coming through. It is Frog3 showing that they have a little bit more sustain, a little bit more performance than last time. This is getting scary if you're BURTS, because of the fact that they came into this so confident, having watched Frog3 last time, and now BURTS is about to get taken out in our first match of the day.
Yep. We'll just have to see. They're definitely going to get the vault started. And yeah, if they can hold it, that's really what it all
Point à
comes
mettez un
down
pad,
to.
s'il vous plaît.
And remember, Frog3, they are absolutely so good when they're able to get set up. The APS turrets, the barricades. So BURTS has to cut them off before they can get set up. And they do. They find Kinds. They single them out. Z and Sueco going to be able to take a lot of space up the top there. And now Chickpea trying to find an angle on the sidelines. And there it is. The heavy going to go down to half HP. The healer is holding back behind him. We are going to lose one member. Sueco, he's waiting for the res now, and Z back up as well. Unfortunately, going to take some shots. Z ends up going down. Just Sueco just rezzed half HP. Does a lot of damage to one of the heavies. Does a lot of damage to the medium. It all comes down to this, though. Only 15 HP in a dream. Will he be able to do it? Will he be able to sustain? He misses the shot. He's going to go down. That's Basila. Going to be able to stay rock solid up at the top here. But BURTS will have time. They will have time for one more.
Yep. They really got to hop on there immediately, though, so if Frog3 can just kind of bunker down, they probably have this.
Ouais, ce que je voulais faire, c'est go jouer hauteur.
Ouais, bah oui,
An
c'est ce que je vais faire
insane team fight for sure, but the question is where, Rio, where will BURTS find their entry?
Ok, ça.
Up there.
Oh, here we go.
Here it is. They're going to be going through the closest port of entry, and now it's time for Sueco to dive in head first, supported by the healers. They need a little bit more healing this time. Starting off strong, getting one of the mediums into heavy, but that's not going to be much. He's half HP. The heavy backs up and starts supporting.
A lot of damage happening.
Oh, no, too much, but there we go. Sueco is able to pick up one. Z gets a res. One more kill. That's going to be one member of Frog3 remaining, unless they are going to be getting the res coming through. But look at this. Frog3 can't find the res. BURTS finds the steal. That's going to be a wipe for Frog3, and at the very last moment, it's BURTS coming through with the W on map 3. Absolutely incredible performance, and BURTS able to overcome the odds at the very last second. Frog3, they have such a strong defense, and BURTS found their way through it.
I saw him for a split second, but I couldn't.
You can see early on that they kind of came into the site and then ran away and were like they needed to go to a different spot to really get in there, and they found the weakness. Quite impressive.
Absolutely. It's so insane when you see these kinds of teams come through, because again, they have so many different play styles, and this is Chickpea swapping off of light after map 1 and going into the double medium to take it away. I'd love to see when they swap out, and you can see that a team is confident in multiple different roles, multiple different styles. I'm excited to see Team BURTS going through this bracket. That being said, before we do that, I do want to give a big thank you to our main sponsor of the event, One Shot Energy. They have tons of unique products geared towards gamers, creators, and people who want to put quality items in their mouths. My personal favorite is their Soothing Yuzu voice drops, which is actually helping me cast today. I got this one open right here, and it super comes in handy when I have a very long multi-hour stream. You can use the code BREAKOUT to get 10% off of your very own order of these or of any of their products. You can sort by function, sort by ingredient. I love One Shot Energy. Type !1 shot in the chat for some more information.
So out of those 3 matches, which one was your favorite?
I thought you were going to say something about One Shot, because I saw you hold up yours as well.
Yeah, I actually showed it on the wrong side. Yeah, these are great. I've had a few troubles with my voice and my throat, and they're really soothing. They really help out during those long casting streams, and I know that after this today, I will be popping a few of these for sure.
Absolutely. But yeah, as we were talking about, right, that map 3 was super intense. We had lots and lots of different gameplay potential coming out from both teams. Frog3 once again unable to make it through, but hey, we still have Qualifier 4 coming up, and not only that, I think Frog3 has enough points already to keep in the quals no matter what. But it is not over yet for these teams. There are more matches to come through, and we have more exciting games of the finals coming to you right after this break. Fortunately, doesn't land before some of that util comes out from Frog3, but now you see the Chickpea does enough opening damage for the team to come in. It is to deal as much damage as possible. One member of Frog3 goes down before getting res. Come through. Basilla is going to be back in the fight here, but Kynes taking tons of damage.
Grab the little statue and just run away and get them back, because now they're in a really bad situation.
A strong start. And last map, they were able to run away with it. First map, they weren't. It's a choice. They can either jump right on them, and that's what they're going to do.
Wow.
Sueco goes out, but it is going to be res through. Frog3 still sustained all the way up. As Sueco picks up 2, it's just Kynes. And look at that, he's able to sustain with just come through. And check this out, Frog3 gets a huge opening on the Z.
Heavy shield really.
They fake the steal, are able to get the heavy down to 1 HP, but look at this insane damage. Frog3 gets it, up 1, but not before we are going to get another kill. And there's the wipe here coming through the sidelines. And there it is, the heavy going to go down to half HP. The healer is holding back behind Dream. Will he be able to do it? Will he be able to sustain? He misses the shot. He's going to go down. That's Basilla.